Yeah, frustrating night. Probably too many similarities to Saturday for our liking in terms of a really tight first half. Not fantastic, in terms of the flow of the game. Lots of stoppages. We didn't manage to create the game that we wanted. Didn't manage to create as many opportunities as we wanted. But having said that, neither did the opponent. We were solid. There was very little in the game, very little opportunities on either end. Second half we came out much better. I think we were in the ascendancy. We felt like we could really push on in the game, and we got ourselves to a pretty good position and some momentum, and then we conceded a really poor goal. And in a tight game like today, that ends up decisive. And we tried at the end to break them down. They were defending and counter-attacking well, and we weren't able to find a solution to break them down.
I think it was something like 5 shots on target the entire game. It sort of felt like neither side could really get into it.
Yeah.
What do you feel was the reason for that? Crystal Palace, it seemed like it had sort of an idea of stifling your team, trying to stop you from playing. What did you say at half time to try and maybe change that?
Yeah, they've got, they're a really solid team now, to be honest. You look across the physical strength and the individual quality of their back five, and they're really hard to break down. So we couldn't quite get superiority in any individual duel. We got to some good areas, but we weren't able to produce the quality that we needed to create a clear chance. And both teams probably cancelled each other out a little bit in terms of the systems, and we weren't able to really oppose ourselves on them. We knew at half time we just needed to get more intensity in the game one way or another, so we needed to be more aggressive, we needed to be more positive, we needed to play forward quicker, even if it wasn't perfect, but just to create some atmosphere in the game, in the stadium, and put more pressure in their final third. And we'd done that at the start of the second half, to be fair, and started to get to some more good positions. So the first half was controlled and solid, but we weren't, even without creating clear chances, because they're not an easy team to create clear chances against them. Newcastle of a top forward line, I think, didn't have a shot against them on Saturday. With the back five they have in place now, they're going to be hard to break down. But even taking away clear chances, we didn't create as much pressure, as much intensity, as much atmosphere in the game in the first half as we wanted. And then when the first goal goes in, the whole dynamic of it changes, and then you have possession and territory, but a solid team who defend well and can counter-attack with the individual quality and the physicality they have, they're always in a much better position.
You mentioned physicality. Maybe looking at the games you've struggled most in to get that rhythm and creativity, maybe like Everton, Forest today. Is that a bit of a recurring theme, or is it something that you're going to have to look to address, maybe look to January or just in general?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I think it's a little bit different when I say physicality today to maybe, Everton are maybe more dominant on set plays, but if you look across, Mitchell, Muniz, but especially Gay, Lacroix and Chalobah, that's a physically really, really dominant 1v1 backline. So when they match you up as they did, and when they go man-to-man against us, like they did when their side centre-backs jump out and mark as tightly as they did, and they've got that much physicality in the team, it's not easy to create chances against them. I think lots of teams will find that difficult. But yeah, it's I think today was different than most of our home games, I have to say. And most of our home games we've managed to create intensity, atmosphere, chances, pressure, play more like the game that we wanted to. In the majority of our home games, we certainly didn't today. So yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a trend. I think you have to give Palace some credit for it. At the same time, they didn't create much, or certainly didn't play, have many good passages themselves. I think up until the first goal, we were actually the team, really growing into the game and starting to put some moves together. But yeah, we're up against a lot of Premier League quality, experience and physicality, as I say, and it's a big challenge.
Can I get your thoughts on Sam Morsy not wearing the rainbow armband?
Yeah, I think in line with what the club statement said, to be honest, we want to be a inclusive club. The club are working really, really hard on that within the club and within the playing group. There's a lot of good work being done, and we want to continue that work. But at the same time, the club has respected Sammy's individual decision based on his religious beliefs, and I think that's a fair assessment.